peculiar course.
So sometimes the moon will go on her own course, okay? And she will go on her own course. That's why the Most High said, don't follow
the moon.
Don't follow the moon.
That's right.
Right? Don't follow the moon. Come on.
In 2 months, the moon sets with the sun. In those 2 middle portals, the third and the fourth, she goes forth for 7 days and turns about and returns again through the portal, where the sun rises and accomplishes all her life. And she recedes from the sun, and in the 8th days enters the 6th portal, from which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days, until she goes forth until the 5th and turns back again in 7 days into the 4th portal and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes and enters into the 1st portal in 8 days, and she returns again in 7 days into the 4th portal, from which the sun goes forth.
Now I know it's a lot of days is in here, but it's basically telling you that the moon operates according to what the sun is the leader.
Yeah.
And she's following according to what he's doing, right? But it's all set up to give us our months, our seasons, and everything, right?
And that's what the 7 days are about, because you know that each 7 days is a week. And the Sabbath, the Most High, it started from Genesis. He gave you the first days. He let you know what he did in all the days, created man in the 6th day, and on the 7th day he rested. And that same cycle is also represented in what we're hearing here. Even though they're dealing with the portals, they also take you back to the standard, which is the 7 days.
Exactly. Come on, prophet.
Thus I saw their positions, how the moons rose and the sun set in those days. And if 5 years are added together, the sun has an overplus of 30 days. And all the days which accrue to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days.
366.
Nope, 364.
365.
364 days.
The fullness when they amount to is how much, prophet?
364 days. And I just want to
read verse 13. Come on. But she's doing a little calculating here. Come on.
Well, with 364 days, you know that if everything, like I stated, if everything is based on the beginning and he did it in the seven days, we know that's one of his numbers. And even with what we're saying with the portals back and forth with the moon, her following the sun, she always lands back at the 7th day. And so now we see here, it tells you that once it's gone those 5 years, and when they are full, amount to 364 days. You can evenly divide 7 into 364 and get 52 weeks.
Which is 52 what?
Weeks.
Jubilees, right?
Weeks. Just 52 weeks.
Okay.
A jubilee is 50 years.
Okay.
Verse 11, and the overplus of the sun and of the stars amount to 6 days. And in 5 years, 6 days, every year comes to 30 days. And the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days.
Right.
And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly.
Exactly, right? Come on.
So that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity.
Now in Daniel, we read in Daniel that he would think to change the laws and the time.
And the dividing of times. I just divided.
Right. You can throw people off with all your kind of calendars if you want to. Our record's already written up in heaven. Enoch we got this record wrote for us. So we
now let's keep in mind, anyone who has celebrated, and that would be everybody. When we were asleep, we celebrated our birthdays, and we recognized, because that's what we're gonna recognize every year, even when we were children, that our birthday never landed on the same day, because we follow the Gregorian calendar. But what's happening here, and I just use that as an example for some of our days. It might be this day, it might be that day, and everybody got comfortable with
Right.
it shifting days, and I'll check and see what day that falls on,
Right,
because you're used to sliding back and forth. Well, that's not how the Most High set it up to be.
It's out of order,
It's
right?
out of order. According to 12, it says, and the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly.
Exactly.
So,
See, this
so
is
that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity.
Brothers and sisters, this is what we're going right back to the title. If your birthday fall on a different day every year, isn't that confusing?
It's sliding you back and forth.
Ain't that confusing? There's no confusion with the Most High.
And it says, but it completes the years with perfect justice in 364 days.
Come on.
In 3 years, there are 1,092 days.
1,092 days, right?
And in 5 years, there is 1,820 days. So that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days. And in 5 years, she falls 50 days behind.
That's why you're not supposed to be a follower of the moon. Get off this equinox stuff.
That's right. And that's exactly why he says don't follow the moon. And that's why when we celebrate, so for those who are like wondering why you're off. No, your cycle in the calendar, that those who claim the Judaism, they follow the moon. So there you will notice, if this be right, and we know that Enoch is, we celebrate before they do. The feast days that they're claiming that they're celebrating on time, they're celebrating according to the moon. And according to scripture, if it be right, let's just see what it is. They should be behind us, and that's correct. We always celebrate every feast day before they do. Why? And that just goes back to that movie, Don't Be Left Behind. You left behind if you following theirs and you're off on your counting.
Yeah, you can't discern the times anyway, because you have not kept the Sabbath.
That's right.
It all starts with the Sabbath. It starts and ends with the Sabbath.
50 days behind.
Yep.
That's like a symbolism of a jubilee.
You know what's being kept in 50 days? No, because you are.
That's a whole month behind. So when the Most High comes, he has you. He's telling you to remember. Why do you think he said remember the Sabbath? That's a keeping of just the 7 days, so that you can line up with all these different things. The 7 is the basis for everything else.
I started off asking that question: what's your favorite season? And for good reason, fall is mine. You know what? It's the beginning of a new moon come September. And it's like a releasing as well. We blow the trumpets come fall. All right? We shoot down all kind of falsehood come fall.
Walls come tumbling down.
Walls come coming down. Strongholds come coming down.
And really, it comes tumbling down. But when you think about it seasonally, it's a time. It's our final harvest. And guess what? You get ready to walk into. You get ready to walk into some serious faith, because in their seasons there was no planting. So you had to believe in the Most High. And check this out. Where you took us in Leviticus 23, it referenced that you had to leave some back.
Leave some back.
Corners.
Right.
So it was igniting your faith during the Feast of Trumpets. That's your last
Don't harvest
haul.
everything.
Don't harvest everything, but that's your last haul for the season. So you even needed to use faith in clearing out your field.
Wow.
So that's what it needs to represent. You go in and pray that what you have pulled in for your family for the winter, that the Most High would bless it. Because he told you to leave those corners. I can see some greedy people now trying to clean the corners.
So, brothers and sisters, look, you know what? We hope by all faith that you get understanding about this today, because this is some of the reason why they took the book of Enoch and hid it from us. The Catholic Church knew about Enoch, but they had a hand in changing the days and times.
Constantly, over and over. And just this last sentence here in the last verse is just, it's too much. In verse 14 in chapter 74 of Enoch,
come on.
It says, for the moon alone. So if you're following the moon, I can't emphasize, we can't emphasize this enough. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062. days. And in 5 years, she falls 50 days behind. You're behind in your calendar, this Gregorian calendar, if it's following whatever, the moon or whatever. Gregorian is off, period. But if you think that you have found all the truth and you're following the customs of Judaism, I'm telling you, do the history yourself. They follow the moon, and you are also 50 days behind.
Come on, Prophet.
If not more.
Keep reading
50 days behind to the sum of 1,770 days. There is to be added 1,062 days. And in 5 years, there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon, the days in 8 years amount to 2,832 days. For in 8 years, she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. So as it progresses, she continues to fall behind. All the days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which the sun, rises and sets 30 days.
See there?
You will be behind. And if you're gonna stay on it, they've been falling behind more and more and more. You can add it up with they just gave you 8 years. Try 80 and see how far behind and how far you're off now.
Now we entitled this lesson today for good reason, the author of confusion, and it started with the enemy. Okay? It started with the enemy. And we want to let you know that he has used a people to carry out his plan. But you know what? The Most High got a remnant in the earth right now to stay on track, to do what is right, to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
You're called to do it.
These are our records. You need to understand these are our records that have been kept from us and hidden from us. Again, we were reading from the book of Enoch, the 73rd and 74th chapters, where Enoch was ministered to by the Most High, like the elder said. You can find it in Genesis chapter 5, where Enoch he walked with, so many people say they want to be with Enoch. I used to be one of the people. I want to be like Enoch. He just took him because we never knew. But definitely he was cut off. This is why they kept the information that the Most High shared with Enoch to give to us. That's how he does it. But for some reason, we never received this information, because had we received it, we could be lined up with the scriptures and with the Most High and with multiple blessings beyond belief.
And all in all, brothers and sisters, I keep telling you and I keep compressing it. Everything goes back to Psalm 83. Come, let us cut them off from being a nation. If we're not following what the Most High tells us to do, we have fell off.
That's right. It's so many levels of deception that we have to deal with, even though we're awake. We're still pressing through. It's so many levels of deception because this adversary, he is a worthy opponent. He's been doing this for a while, deceiving. And you have to understand the deception rests everywhere. And don't be lazy. If you're slothful and you don't want to study, then that's what you've decided. Everyone has a choice.
But the scriptures say, Christ said, every man will give an account for every idle word that he has said. You better study that thing. Know what you're worshiping.
Study to show yourself approved.
Know what you're worshiping.
Be a workman that rightly divides the word of truth.
Exactly. So, hey, with that, Prophet, anything else you want to bring out before we get ready to close this lesson today? Because I am edified by this. I thank the Most High for his understanding. I thank the Most High for giving us insight on what he wants us to do, as a nation of people. Not just me and my household, but as we should be doing as a nation of people, Israel. We should be returning back to our Father, being obedient to his will and his way. Anything else, Prophet, you want to bring out?
Nope. It's awesome lesson. Awesome lesson. I just encourage those individuals who are listening to do some research on your own. We can't give this to you. We can only do what we do here, and that's just our reasonable service. You have to want it for yourselves. You have to want it for yourselves. Seek him while he may be found.
Hey, with that being said, we're going to get ready to do our Hebrew credo, and we're going to go into the Lord's Prayer and close out today. All praise is due to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, have a wonderful Sabbath. Remember, the Most High is with you. Okay? Shema Yasharala Ahaya.
Shema Yasharala Ahaya.
Alahaya Nawa.
Alahaya Nawa.
Ahaya Akkad.
Ahaya Akkad.
Shema Yasharala Ahaya.
Shema Yasharala Ahaya.
Alahaya Nawa.
Alahaya Nawa.
Ahaya Akkad.
Ahaya Akkad.
Shema